my love. Welcome to the Godly Femme podcast. My name is Chumoke Win, and here we discuss all things Christian hypergamy, leveling up, and godly femininity. Check us out at godlyfemme.com. So my husband and I have never argued. We talked about this a little bit on our platform, Win at Love, where we coach Black Christian women to date for marriage. But I'm going to talk about it here and give some context, and hopefully the different lessons that I'm going to share with you, it will help you in your preparation to be that godly hypergamous wife. So first, let's understand what arguing is. The way that I define it is just manipulation and pride, right? We're not talking about a disagreement. When I say my husband and I have never argued, this does not mean that we have never disagreed. I am not a pushover. I'm not a doormat. We are not the same person. We have disagreed. But have we ever argued, bickered, yelled at each other? Two people are going back and forth? No, that's never happened between us. So that's what I mean by we've never argued. And when you engage in that type of arguing, it's manipulation because it's just two people trying to make the other person think how they think, process how they process, and essentially be them. There's no acceptance. And it's pride because two people are fighting to be right and not righteous. There's a lack of humility when two people are arguing. So that is what I mean when I say my wife and I, no, my husband and I have never argued. So why have we never argued? The first thing is clear expectations. Ladies, do not leave your happiness to chance. When my husband and I were dating and courting, we laid it all out to the best of our abilities because, life throws things at you that you probably didn't expect, and maybe you should have thought of it before you got married. But, for the most part, the big things we discuss. We discuss things like expectations around lifestyle, expectations around finances, expectations around gender roles, expectations around sex, expectations around, I'm trying to think, but we discussed it and we laid it out. Too many women, they are so afraid to say what they really want, to share their desires because they're afraid of losing the man. But you have to remember, you're the prize. What are we talking about here? Okay, you need to break off that people-pleasing spirit and just be honest with the men that you're dating. And if he doesn't accept that, then that's okay. You go find someone else that will, right? So for me, I had made a decision in my mid-20s that, hey, I want to be a stay-at-home wife. Okay, I'm like, look, I paid one big girl bill, and I said, ooh, I do not like this. I do not like the financial brunt being put on me. That's not my thing. That's not my thing. I would rather do other things within my specialty. So we had clear expectations as far as specialty, and in our specialties. And when I say our specialties, masculine men are wired to pursue, provide, and protect. Okay, feminine women are wired to nurture, all right, to receive, right? But if you don't understand that and you go into a relationship or a marriage and you both are doing 50-50 and you both are trying to do each other's role and each other's job and responsibility, even though that's not your specialty, it can cause a lot of unnecessary arguments over time. And both your happiness and his happiness is going to dwindle because you both were not honest with what you wanted and what was going to give you a sense of peace, rest, and happiness in your marriage. So that is something that you have to consider. You have to have a clear expectations. So my husband and I, we don't argue that much. Well, we don't argue at all, but we don't have major disagreements because it's very clear. Okay, my husband provide. Why am I arguing? What is there to argue about? Right? If my husband is providing, if my husband's pursuing me, taking me on dates, and my husband's protecting me and his family, what is there to argue about? Oh, because he left the well, he doesn't do this, but because he left the seat up, or some women, they argue for things that are so trivial, right? Things that are so trivial. Now, if that trivial thing was part of someone's expectation, then okay, that could be a problem. But if it was never agreed upon and if it was never spoken about, then yeah, of course you're going to argue, right? you're going to argue. It's like if you get with someone and you both have not made your expectations known, you have not made compromises, and you have not agreed. We're talking about agree, fight to agree where you can. If you haven't done that, then yes, you're going to argue a lot with men, right? So this is the reason why I encourage women to be hypergamous. Why? Because less arguments. Less arguments. A lot of people, one of the leading causes of divorce is finances, right? But when you marry a man who can provide and he's giving you rest, and you are able to operate in your God-given femininity, right? There's not much to argue about. If he left his sock on the floor, pick it up, right? You're the homemaker. Pick it up. You have time. Pick it up. You're not working 40 hours. It's okay, right? It's not a big deal, right? You don't now expect your husband to pull all of that weight simply because, there's a clear expectation he's providing and I'm keeping the home, right? Now, I'm not saying that your husband should just be a pig or, not be considerate of you. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just saying that, you're not going to be fussing at him of, hey, the dishes aren't done, right? And you're expecting him to specialize in what you're doing. That's what I'm trying to say. So clear expectations, ladies, have clear expectations. The next thing is clear communication, okay? Find a solution because you both are a team. Clear communication requires a bit of emotional intelligence because a lot of women, they bypass their emotions and they try to find logic and reasoning to how they feel instead of first tapping into their heart and their emotions, being honest with themselves and how they feel. They try to push their emotions to someone else to say, you made me feel like this. You're not doing this. Okay, well, how do you feel? If you feel rejected, if you feel undervalued, it's better to communicate that to a man than to simply fuss at him. You want to always attack the problem and not the person. So my husband, we don't attack each other. Like, my husband's human, right? If I want something, I just make it known. And I don't have any shame about having needs, even if it's emotional needs, right? I am someone who I am very affectionate, touchy-feely. I go to my husband all the time. Like, I just go up to him and I get my kisses, okay? I get my cuddles. What's he gonna do, right? Like, if that's something that I want, I'm not gonna be like, oh, he hasn't done it. Oh, expect him to read my mind. I just go and get it. So if I need a hug, I'm gonna go and get it. I go and hug my husband at least 3 times a day. I ask for kisses all the time. I'm like, I don't have enough kisses. Listen, I'm a baby girl. Y'all gonna learn today. I'm a baby girl for life. Okay? I am a baby girl for life. I refuse to suffer in silence. I refuse. Okay? If I need something, I'm going to let my husband know. Hey, I need some affection. Hey, I need some attention. Hey, I need this. This is my emotional needs. Hey, I need a hug. Hey, can I have some monies? But I'm just going to make it known. And my husband, being the great husband that he is, who's a provider, a pursuer, protector, he is going to meet that need. Okay? And the same thing for me. It goes back to the whole thing with expectations. He had expectations for his wife, and I agreed to those expectations. We met them. Here we are, we're in marriage, right? So all this to say, as you're dating, and you're preparing, not even just dating, but really just preparing, right? Because this can be applicable even in other relationships that are not romantic, friendships, family, whatever, right? You have to be able to practice healthy communication. Say what you need. When you have certain needs, you can't have shame around how you feel about things. And I know that requires some therapy for some of y'all, because some of y'all don't like to say that you need something because of trauma. And when I told someone so-and-so, or my parents or my ex, and they laughed at me and they didn't meet my emotional need. Okay, well, listen, unpack that in therapy. But at the end of the day, this is something that you have to have when you come into a marriage, so that you can have a chance for a happy marriage and not leave it up to chance. Okay, so that's what I have to say. Let me know what you think, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Godly Femme podcast. If you would like more help in your femininity journey, make sure that you do sign up for our 7-day Godly Femininity Challenge. and also that you join our free Facebook mentorship group, Black Hypergamous Christian Women. All the details are in the description.